Steve here. Welcome to Red Flag Life. Yeah, a space where people with red flags, I contend it should be pretty much everyone in the Western world, everyone on the planet perhaps, should be a red flag. Intellectually, epistemologically challenged, religiously challenged, scientifically challenged, doing the whole angelic thing, but they're actually mammals, you know. We're probably all red flags in some way, but those red flags that we often come across, you know, the single wives, the sleeping around dudes, the crims, the bankrupts, the entrepreneurs, failed entrepreneurs, in my case, quite often, probably dozens of times, if you count all the wise guy, bright ideas I had. Yeah, so, yeah, this is a space. So today, what subject, hey? Today is male privilege. Freudian slip. No. Female privilege. Female privilege. Let's the way these often go, these episodes, I just unpack on the fly things that have been in my nugget for a while. I pick up a lot of things. My intellectual go-to in recent years, Stefan Molyneux, you know, banned, and you know, this and that. Wiki says this and that about him, but he's a profound philosopher, the Aristotle of our time. Yeah, I do believe that, and I believe in his own grandiose ideas, that his ideas will be around in 500 years, or you know, that sort of grandiose idea. That was a rubberneck. That's what here in Australia they call the rubberneck. When there's someone broken down or had a prank, like had an accident, you slow down and you have a look, and they back, you know, traffic backs up a mile. Anyway, so yeah, let's unpack it. And you know, we've heard the whole male privilege thing in woke culture, and in recent times I've also discovered that on the Propaganda Report podcast, Brad Binkley brought up these stats where 30-something% of the religious Trump type people, and you know, there was pretty much six camps, or was it nine camps, and the smallest camp, 9 camps, smallest camp. How did the smallest camp get 12%? Anyway, don't quote me on this, on the figures. 9 camps was mentioned, but basically the smallest camp was 12%, and that's the woke people. Those politically active lefties, which spooked the whole woke thing, is 12%. Shows when someone is committed, how they shape our culture. And it's only coming from an active 12%, and those, you know, probably 60%, which are on the reasonable side of reason. People that are classed as right side deplorables or the like, you know, all those terms. They're pretty much silenced by the left media, the left culture, the woke culture. They're silenced by the 12% of people that are active, politically active on the left. So yeah. Anyway, So the whole male privilege thing is pretty much pushed by those 12%. Perhaps the 60% quiet right indicate that maybe it's female privilege, because you know, when a woman cries, they do the whole victimize, the victim card, you know, the whole crocodile tears, the whole, you know, I call it the manipulating by guilt and tears. Men have the manipulation by muscle. Yes, I'm spitting a bit. And so muscle, guilt and tears, you know, the whole complex of manipulation and mammalian, being a mammal. So yeah, really what we have is perhaps female privilege. When you have the whole complex of baby jail, the whole complex of no-fault divorces, the whole complex of Social Security, government benefits benefiting the women. You rock up to a night spot and you get drinks thrown at you. We get it. We get it. In that way, it's a female privilege world. If you're an 8, 9, 10 female on the sexual market value scale, whatever 8, 9, 10 means to different people. When people say, oh, I'm a 7, you know, sometimes they're a 9. When someone says they're a 7, sometimes they're a 5. So that whole, you know, bullshit, self-evaluating what you are, yeah, take that or leave it. But the objective 8, 9, 10s, you know, the attractive ladies, yes, it's female privilege. Even the 7s, maybe some of the 6s that offer the atomic option, the access to the V-bomb, they can get resources by providing access to the V. With dudes, with the like female privilege, like how about male privilege? What? Guys don't get shit given to them for free. Men work for their shit. Men are net payers into the tax system. Women are the net receivers out of the tax system, the government benefits system. If you calculate all the women that work their whole lives, you will find that women are net receivers of all that they've earned. On average, women receive more than they earn. And you know, it's all about male privilege, don't you know? Well, how about that for a metric, hey? You know, women drive divorces 80%, apparently. Women have the whole hypergamy thing going. So if a woman starts to earn 6 figures, that man better be on high 6 figures, or in the 7 figures plus. Otherwise, she'll just turn up her nose if you're a truck driver or some shit, you know. So yes, we get it with even the idea of female privilege. It's pretty much when you're an 8, 9, 10, you get drinks bought for you. Not that that's anything. Men want your access to the goodies, just like women want access to the man's goodies, which is the income, the status, the height. Yes, and so, but what if you're a 5? If you're a woman that's a 5, yeah, life can be a little bit harder, and that's when those sort of women, you may be a bit overweight, a bit ugly, a bit dopey, a bit of a bitch, not so pleasant. Few kids to several men, perhaps. No wonder some of those 5s and less women go left. They're left. They're on the left side of politics. That's the blue hair, overweight, tattooed, pierced type women, because they can. They can still get resources, not from a man, maybe from another woman, but usually it's from the government. Those sort of individuals, and so you'll find that the 8, 9, 10 women, those pretty ones that are trying to score with the status, the income of a man, those men of status and income will go for the 8, 9, 10s, right? And some of those alphas, taking advantage of those attractive, nice little women that are after them. All men are bastards. Well, yes, women offer up the golden V access to those alphas, and the alphas just say, yep, thank you for coming. Oh, thank you so much for coming, for making me come. And then men are bastards, right? That's where those 8, 9, 10 women used to not allow so much access in yesteryear to make sure they had a commitment so that the man can commit. But if those 8, 9, 10s are providing access to the alphas will just say, thank you. Oh, thank you, man. And that's where the whole and the bastards comes in. Yes, even the 5s, the 3s, like we don't mention 3s, 2s, 1s. Oh, you can't. Yeah, there's no one that's a 3 or 2. Or you want to bet? You want to bet? You just gotta. Yeah. There's ones out there. There's ones. Well, they often get labelled as 6s. Yeah. So, yes, I get it. 8, 9s, 10s. That's where female privilege comes in. That's what I find. Some of the 6s and 7s using the whole, popular rating. The 3s that are 6. Yeah, we get it, right? We get it. If they provide access to the golden V, yeah, they can get a roof over their head from, if you're a woman that's a 5, that's 40 years old, you might have to, move the goalpost over to like a 57-year-old man, with a bit of a rough beard and a size 40 pants, or XL, or whatever, with a dad bod, and with the gut, and yeah, you have to move your goalpost. And the dude, oh yeah, thanks. And that's why you don't have many homeless women because they just provide the nuclear option, the access. So yes, it is a bit hard for the 7s and below in the female sphere of sexual market value. So female privilege, we get it that the 8, 9, 10s have got it, but the 8, 9, 10s just want to try and get those alphas, get those 10s, whatever, you know. What's a 10, you know, like Will Smith, he should be a 10, right? You know, rich dude, you know, good looking rich dude, fit, sometimes he's fit, I don't know how he is now, but, you know, he's got dad bod moments, but apparently, according to Rich Cooper, he's this A-list beta. Will Smith is a A-list beta. That's interesting. So I like to. I haven't seen any of those shorts or episodes on Will Smith, but yeah. Anyway, so Brad Pitt is he an A-list alpha? Yeah, perhaps. George Clooney, alpha, A-list, yeah, maybe. Sean Connery, back in the day. Daniel Craig, perhaps. I don't know. You know, some of the athletes out there. Yep. Some of the NBA stars just sleeping with you know, hundreds or 1,000 women, sort of thing. They're taking advantage of their status, and yeah, that's the male privilege thing on that sort of side. Male privilege. If you're white Christian, well educated, you got a good job because of male privilege. Well, white Christian males tend to have higher IQs. Don't diss me, man. I'm just don't leave the house. I'm just giving some opinions. You know, often you know, white Asian Freudian slip, right? White male Christians aren't on the top of the IQ pyramid, if there is one. It's apparently the Asians, right? So Asians are overpopulating institutions like Harvard and all the Ivy Leagues, you know. In a way, the white Christian male is being discriminated against. Oh, you know, when you throw in the smart Asians and the white culture, the white Christian male is out. So the white Christian male does his own shit, gets into cryptocurrency and starts to open up his own business and deals with the other white Christian guys, and all of a sudden, the white Christian, you know, white male privilege, yeah, it all starts again, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if crypto got smashed because it's a white male space. Well, Asians are in that space too, right? So yeah, so look, I'm just, as you can tell, if you're watching this whole thing, I'm unpacking. I'm just throwing things out there, okay? So women that are 8, 9, 10s, yes, female privilege. But historically, it was hard. Being a woman was hard, you know. Pretty much hobbled. You better score with a committed guy, otherwise you're screwed. And, if you have a child, but these days, if you have a child, you're not screwed because government is still going to provide for you. So they'll just continue that treadmill, that merry-go-round, that you know, 4, 5, 6 kids, 2, 3, 4 men. It makes economic sense for some women, and why isn't that female privilege? Like, it's female privilege. If you got 3 kids, you can earn. You're pretty much earning, what's that, like 1,000, around 1,200 to 1,500 bucks Aussie, or maybe 1,200 bucks US per month. Wait a minute, per fortnight. Like, let's say 600 bucks a week for not working. Oh, but they work in the. They provide for their kids. Well, they're not actually providing for the kids. The government is providing for. Oh, wait a minute. The government. Where does the government get their money from? The net producers, the men. The men are still providing, even though it's from government, right? But how it is these days with money printing. The men don't have to provide anymore either. So the men can actually stay in their basements playing computer games, while the governments can now just print money, because they're all printing it at the same rate. And they'll just keep on giving money out to the women and the guys now, playing the video games, because they'd rather play video games than earning like 14 bucks an hour, waiting tables or shoveling shit. For the lower rung guys. Why not just play computer games and get the same, a little bit less, but the same amount of money as shoveling shit? Why not? Makes perfect economic sense. Perfect economic sense. There's low class or lower rung or basement living dudes living in the basement at Moms playing computer games. That's another type of male privilege. There can be males now that don't produce, that get plenty of porn, get plenty of their rocks off, not by going on dates, but plenty of porn. Break that up with computer games and Cheetos. And there you go. There you go. You get the whole beta male thing happening. Well, there's better status beta males out there too, but you get the helpless, hopeless, drop their bundle, no motivation guy, and so that's the whole male privilege thing too. The male can be in the household providing company and security for mom. Dumber male privilege. How about that for an unpack? So those women that are 8, 9s, 10s, let's try and wrap it up. I don't want to go too far. Don't worry, I've already been on tangents, but female privilege, that should be the central topic. So the 8, 9s, 10s, use your power, your sexual market value power, those 8s, 9s and 10s, maybe some 7s or 6s that offer up a golden beat. But if you're a 9 and 10 chick, use that power for good, not evil, not continuous attention until the age of 40 and then it drops off a cliff and then all men are bastards. Get that best man you can. If you're age 23, 25, 29, 20, 31, like, don't leave it until your mid-30s plus, like, you're just fucking yourself up. But if you're a woman that's 5, 6, 7, 8, you also better settle for whichever guy that maybe a truck driver, maybe a tradesman that's earning enough money to maybe he won't give you a trip, overseas trip every year, but come on, you'll be able to bring up your child without having to put him in daycare, for God's sake. That's a whole thing that I've been pushing, which Molyneux got me onto as well. Like, yes, I'm guilty of accepting my child going into daycare. It was one of those family daycares, the same lady each day, and there was a bit of bonding there. So it wasn't in a factory daycare where you 30 other kids, 2 or 3 bloody attendees, some of them from another culture, probably abusing your kid. I don't know. And so at least with that whole that I'm pushing these days, the whole supposed traditional domestic setup, that's when women were most happy, apparently, in the 50s in the US. I recall an early 60s Australian Broadcasting Corporation, sets of interviews like, don't you think housewives have a mundane life and this and that? And they started with that shit so early. But apparently when a woman stays home looking after their kids, it's not being supported by the man, it's also supporting the man, bringing up the kids. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with division of labour? It's not, being chained to the kitchen sink. Scrubbing floors and this and that. Like, who scrubs floors these days? Get the broom out, for God's sake. Fuck. Anyway, so I'm pushing the whole traditional domestic setup. In my past, it's becoming now quite extensive. When you're approaching half century in vintage, right? Some of your views change from time to time, and I push the whole, come on woman, get out there and work. Women work these days, why aren't you going to work? And usually when women work, they expect an overseas trip each year. Some of them go for the whole beauty shit and Botox, and some of them buy even better toys than the guys. Bloody nice push bikes and footwear and cars and fucking hell. But part of what I'm pushing is that if the woman can support the dude at home, and therefore the man supports the wife, right? Or the woman at home. Instead of earning 50 or 60k, maybe the dude can push those 6 figures and have a decent home life. Divide the labour at home so he can concentrate on work and earn the bigger bucks. Oh yeah, but then he'll run off. Oh, nah, not really. I don't think so. There will be run-offers. There's run-offers that are earning 20 and 30k, right? They run off all the time. So we do take risks. Sometimes the 6-figure dude that's got a wife at home, he'll probably, some of them do sleep around, yeah. But so do the lower rung guys too, earning 20 and 30k. Well, women do plenty of it too, right? Yeah, so I jumped around a bit today, but female privilege, it's reserved for the upper scale on the sexual market value, the 8+, maybe 7+ in some ways, I don't know. But there is a lot of female privilege, even for the 3s out there. They're net receivers of government money, and that's a type of female privilege too, right? Yeah. And if you can score 3 kids from 1, 2, 3 different guys, $600 a week without lifting a finger, that's female privilege in economic terms. Oh yeah, but they ran off with 80% of divorces and split ups initiated by the woman. ran off. You could probably say ran off. But we really know what's happening here. Like, you're only on 35 grand. If I divorced you, get a bit of child support, get a bit of alimony for the North American people, plus get social security benefits from the government. You won't give me 15 grand out of that 35 grand. With that example, I'll get 30 grand to myself. It makes economic sense to piss you off. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. How about that for an unpack? An economic decision. Some of these economic decisions, some of these 80% of divorces and splits initiated by the women are economic choices from, sometimes the guy is on 90 or 100k. She's only getting access, I'm only getting access to 20k of that. He spends the other shit on toys and crap. If I split, I get alimony plus 50 grand. 50 grand. Oh, tax free. What a concept. Especially when, he starts to piss her off and, a bit of power play gets, starts entering the sphere. His status isn't that great, or she'd want better status, or she's pissed she didn't get an overseas trip this year. See you later, guy. That net receive for personal use, 15, 20 grand out of that 100k example, I'll up it to 50k to myself. Economic decisions, mammalian decisions. Even a guy that's earning 6 figures, a woman can still piss you off if there's a net gain to her pissing you off. Female privilege. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I did my utmost best to unpack the best I can, and there it was. Until the next attempt at unpacking another topic of red flag notching, a red flag out there. Ciao for now.